Hello friends, today I would like to talk on the stress. This is one of the most problematic situation nowadays in the society we have been observing in the people, especially the students, and the business people, or normal people, or whatever human beings, wherever we have been observing that naturally, even in the animals also have been observing. And so that's why that stress we need to control the manage the controlling of the stress, or that is nothing but the managing of the stress is one of the important parameter nowadays due to busy life, especially the students also they are reading their level best very nicely. And even though examinations point of view also, especially in the competitive point of view also, exams and academic exams, and they maybe feel more stress, whether we maybe write properly or not, all the things, these are the common we have been observing in the business people also, in the job holders also, in the normal whomever doing their profession, all these people directly or indirectly, so they may be getting the more stress in their life activities. So that's why we need to manage the stress. That is very very important to get the good health as well as the mentally physically. And that here the stress that will be interlinked to the physical tension and emotional feeling. So whenever that more emotionally feeling, so that may be a problematic situation to all the physical tension also, it may leads to physical tension. So that's why we need to control that emotions properly and under the controlled status. And what are the problems we have been observing due to stress? The headache, obviously we are getting headache. It is obviously observing many more times, and the people getting of the headache because of the overthinking. And if any problem is there continuously, they are thinking that particular problem, and that maybe also leads to headache. And even though whomever standing in the polluted area, junctional areas, the metro cities, are wherever the pollution is there, so generally the air, carbon monoxide and other gases also there, CO2 and many more automobile exhausted gases, so they are present in the air. And the carbon monoxide will be more affected toward the hemoglobin, that will be instead of the oxygen and the alveolar area in the lungs, it will be pick up the hemoglobin and reach to the tissues area, and it may be also getting the irritation, the carbon monoxide also in the polluted areas. And so that's why that will be headache is a common problematic situation in the stress people. And next to insomnia, so without proper sleeping at the night time, this will be also most of the people facing because of their problems, economically or whatever problems, and overthinking, and without solving the problems at the time, they are unable to sleep properly, so that will be leads to insomnia. And infection also, if any body infected by viral or bacterial whatever things, the body, and they may be think overthinking. And pain also, unfortunately getting the pain to the any body part of the bodies, and they maybe get more pain, unbearable pain, and that will be also leads to stress. And tense muscles at the time, what happening there, it maybe leads to tense muscles, more tense. And heartbeat will be increasing, heartbeat generally, that heartbeat increasing due to the interlink to the blood pressure also, hypertension. General normal blood pressure is 120 by 80, and if it is more than that, it will leads to hypertension also. And because of the age factor also, one of the reason. And if it is increasing age, automatically BP will be increasing 130 by 85, 90, like that. So when we consider due to age problem, and people 130 by 90 or 130 by 85, like that, that range also, normally they may be considered due to the age factor. But we need to control the blood pressure, and it will be, if it is more tense, and it may leads to hypertension, and it leads to heart disease chances also there. And because of more stress, that may leads to the obesity as well as the diabetes also. It is a metabolic disorder, diabetes. A lot of reasons also there for the diabetes. Genes also responsible for the transmitting of the parents or forefather towards the present generation of springs. And obesity also one of the reason for the diabetes. And it is a metabolic disorders, if it is problematic situations happening the carbohydrate, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acid related areas, that especially the metabolic interchanges. If it is any problems happening, it may leads to diabetes, and genes also responsible for that. That is also one of the problematic situation nowadays. We have been observing diabetes, hypertension, heart diseases, and all these, and cancer also there. That will be unfortunately uncontrolled proliferation of the cells. We have been observing that cancer, even the good habits people also getting because of a lot of environmental changes taking place. The food habits we are changing habits, whatever that drinking habits also better to avoid the smoking and alcohol also. That is when better to control without taking that alcohol and smoking. All these things were very essential to manage the stress as well as for the good health also. And here, that what are the reasons for the obviously getting the stress and the human beings, injury and the financial problem. This is the most problematic situation. If any money problem is there, so generally they will be get that financial problem. Due to that, more stress they may be feeling because of they need to solve their problems. That is also another problem. And loss of jobs, unemployed, that is one of the problematic situations. So if whomever doing their good job, suddenly they are lose, so that may be getting the stress most of the people. And death, very close relatives and friends, whomever more affection people, if suddenly, incidentally, or unfortunately, naturally, if any death happening, and that will be also getting into stress and leads to guiltiness, and as well as the guilt, as well as the depression. It will be leads to depression and anxiety, and loneliness, sweating, loss of appetite. Generally, appetite means we need to interesting of the taking of food as well as the juices. Here, loss of appetite is unable to eat. They don't have the interest to eat or drinking whatever food related items. So that's why that in here anxiety also most of the people facing nowadays. So that will leads to restlessness because of the survival of the fittest purpose. So we need to survive the good life. Everybody expecting obviously, so that without taking proper rest also always. They're doing their things related jobs and businesses. That's why restlessness and nervousness, it maybe leads to nervousness, that anxiety sometimes, and danger feelings, it will be leads to danger feelings, and that will be leads to panic. And specific phobias also responsible, and water phobia and money phobia, social media phobia, unable to speak some of the people with their friends and relatives also. That is also one of the phobia. And afraid into some big hills, like that. Many more phobias. The exam phobia for the especially the students. Exam phobia is that whenever they are studying their level best very nicely up to getting a finishing of the syllabus. So if once exam will be going to start writing, then we get obviously and the phobia, so exam phobia. So that is the different kinds of things and problematic situations that the human body leads to anxiety. And what are the changes happening there? It will be affect the body and the mental and physically also. Thoughts will be changing in their bodies, and the feelings also changing, and finally behavior also changing. Sometimes over stress, it will be leads to mad related things also. All the things whenever all these symptoms, if we are observing, better to approach the doctors. So that will be very very essential. Psychiatrics and proper related doctors, so we need to approach. So they will be give the counseling and the proper medications also there. And here that really how to relieve the stress, how to relieve the stress, some of the points we need to discuss here. That here things is reading habitats. If any if it is not good mood at the time, any good book, if you are interested, better to read whatever things. And herbal teas also sometimes it will be, give that relaxation of the mind. And swimming also, whatever availability source of swimming also very good, and running also, and dancing also. And take slow and deep breathing also, and that will be helpful to relaxation of the brain. And a soak in warm bath also, and better to before that relax face also, and the shoulders, and afterwards chest, legs, hands, and total body in the relaxed condition. And even though the in the warm bathing time also, we have to soak in the warm bath during time with the warm water. That will be giving us the relief to the brain. And what is the habits, good habits also very very important. How to, what type of food we are taking, and what type of relations we have been maintaining in the society, good friends, good relations, good talking, good behavior, and good food. These are the very good things we need to develop, that will be automatically getting a good brain thinking and positive thinking, also the habits, and the surviving of the good environmental area also. If we are under stress, better to visit a good environment area, wherever the good plants are there, very good fresh airy area, and then the nature will solve that stress problem also. And that habits and habits, and laughing therapy also. Laughing therapy very very good thing. Whenever we are without getting angry time also, so we need to do some laughing therapy, that will be reduce the stress. And caffeine related items, better to avoid the caffeine related items, and alcohol related and steroid related things, whatever the hormones, if they are artificially using all the things, that will be not good. And exercise, so that is a very very important. Whatever the available time is there within our busy life, in the morning or evening time, the better to do the exercise maximum. The walking also playing a very good nowadays, to maintain the good health, walking playing a major role. And exercises also at home also, if it is not possible going to outside, some of the people, busy people. And if we are doing proper exercise, the body acts automatically, the cortisol hormone reduce the levels, that will be playing a major role for the getting of the stress. And that's why whenever the more exercise, that will reduce the cortisol and increase the endorphin, that whenever the endorphin release in the body, and that will be creating a good mood. And the brain also good mood, and positive thinking also. Always we should be think positive, and sometimes negative also, just for the getting of idea purpose, so we need to think negative. And but positive thinking is very very important, and we should not be compared to other people. So whatever possibilities or abilities or confidence is there, you have to do your level best in the student's point of view, also in the business, or whatever the job related things, whatever things are there. So we need to do our good way and properly. And chewing gum also, generally for getting relaxation purpose, to reduce the stress purpose, chewing gum also properly in the particular places, without in front of the all people or in the classroom, that is not good. And whatever the possible places, that we have to take that also for the getting of relaxations and reduce the stress. And spending with the friends, families, this is very very important. Whatever the problems are, that we need to share a close friends, if it is possible, or families, and whatever the problems are there outside, you need to discuss with your parents, and if it is possible, very close friends are there, you have to discuss with your friends also, that will be reduce the stress, whatever present in the brain. And yoga also, different kinds of yoga asanas, so that will be very very essential nowadays, due to the busy life. So that yoga asanas also, you have to different kinds of stress related, reduced stress related yoga asanas also there, variety yoga asanas also there, we need to practice. And listening of the good music, that will be also, many people like their music, like, and so that's why that music listening also, it will be relax the brain and into peaceful mind. And good food also, whatever the unsaturated related fatty acids related good food, and antioxidants related fruits and vegetables, and without getting releasing more free radicals in our body due to stress. So apple very good, and like that many fruits are there. So we need to take the fruits and vegetables properly, and fiber food, all the things. And meditation also, breathing relaxation purpose. Meditation is very very essential to reduce the stress nowadays. And very slowly and very deep breath we need to take, whatever possible time. And that will be relaxation of the brain. And focus changes, wherever the, if you are not interested in that area, wherever the interesting area, then we have to shift the brain towards the good interested changes, things areas, or work areas also, we need to focus changes the brain. And proper sleeping also very very important, minimum 6 to 7 or 8 hours sleeping is better, minimum at least 6 hours is better sleeping, so that body will be relaxed. And reduce the alcohol, better to do not take or do not drink the alcohol, and do not smoke also, so that will be very danger. And more drinking of the water also, very very essential for our body. And whatever the problems, if we are facing more stress, better to go for the doctor approach the concerned doctors, so they will be give the counseling and proper medications and whatever the tablets required for the to reduce the stress. So whatever the problems are there, these are the common to everybody, so we need to overcome all the problems, and we need to do the exercise, yoga, meditations, good habits, and good relations with the society. All the things we need to maintain, so definitely we can overcome and we reduce the stress. Thank you very much.